Hi, I'm Michelle McAllister, registered dietitian, diabetes educator, and mind body coach. I'm here to talk to you about 5 gut health mistakes that might be keeping you stuck. If you feel like you've been trying everything to heal your gut, but you're still dealing with bloating, discomfort, or frustration, this might help you understand why. Because most of the time, it's not that you're not trying hard enough. It's just that some of the things you've been told to do might not actually be the right approach for your body. See, I see this all the time with clients. They're putting in effort, making changes, but they're still stuck. So I want you to walk through a very few common patterns I see, not so you will feel like you're doing something wrong, but so you can start to understand what your body might actually need. First mistake, over-restriction. One of the biggest things I see is people eliminating foods, or maybe it's gluten or dairy, and then becoming more and more restrictive over time. They may have been told to do the low FODMAP diet, which may provide some initial symptom relief, but it can be very restrictive and very difficult to follow. It is meant to be an elimination diet that you do for a month or so and then reintroduce food groups one at a time in a systematic progression. There is a right and wrong way to do this. And it's not meant to be your diet forever. It's very restrictive and can have a negative effect on the beneficial strains of microbes in our gut. This diet should only be used when working on identifying the upstream root causes of your digestive issues and while working on your digestion. The other issue is that foods that people start to eliminate, they may start feeling like the food is the problem, and this can lead to fear of food, and it can make people have more of a disordered eating pattern. The real issue is how their body is processing it, and we need to work on balancing the microbiome or the balance of bacteria in the gut, making sure we are addressing any microbial overgrowths. So instead of continuing to remove foods, we want to start asking, why is this happening in the first place? The second mistake is doing the right things at the wrong time. Another common pattern is using supplements like probiotics or gut protocols without understanding the timing or purpose of the products. For example, some people may start probiotics early on and actually feel worse. They may be using strains that create more histamine, for example, or be using them too early in the process of gut healing. Or maybe they're using products that aren't high quality or contain enough of the right kinds of strains for their situation. Protocols are often not individualized, and they really need to be individualized since each person may have different underlying root causes of their gut issues. And so it's not always about doing more. It's about doing the right things in the right order with the right supplements for that person. The third mistake is ignoring the foundations. This is a big one. Things like stress, sleep, and how you're eating play a huge role in digestion. If you're eating too quickly or eating while stressed or not chewing your food well or constantly in a busy, overwhelmed state, your body is not in a place where it can digest well, no matter how healthy your food is. Our body needs to be in a relaxed state in order to digest our food and obtain the nutrients that the food is providing. Taking some time before your meals to help relax, to get yourself in the parasympathetic nervous system, is necessary for you to be able to digest your food. Slow breathing and mindfulness are actually really good strategies, and they're game-changing in this situation. So the fourth mistake is trying to figure this out on your own. There is so much information out there right now, and I see people trying really hard to piece things together from social media, Google, or different recommendations. But a lot of that information is not individualized, and sometimes it's not even accurate. So people end up overwhelmed or doing things that don't actually support their body. You need someone who has been trained in gut health in order to get your gut to heal and digest food properly. The gut is the center of everything. I always tell people this. And things that happen in the gut can affect other body systems, leading to deficiencies and imbalances that can create disease. We need to get this right for us to be healthy. The fifth mistake is not knowing what normal is, and this one is more common than you might think. Some people have gotten so used to their symptoms that they think it's just their normal. Things like irregular bowel movements, bloating, or discomfort. But your body is always giving you information. What is normal for an individual is not necessarily what is optimal for an individual. We should aim to have 1 to 3 healthy bowel movements every day that are formed in one solid piece, and it shouldn't be painful to pass. If you are not going daily or have to strain to have a bowel movement, that is considered constipation and greatly affects your ability for detoxification. If you're going several times a day with loose stools or diarrhea, that's not normal either. And it's not optimal. It can affect your nutrition since we need time to absorb our nutrients. If this is an ongoing issue for you, you need to address it since it greatly affects your overall health. So if you're finding yourself in any of these patterns, I just want you to know that it's not about doing more or trying harder. It's about understanding what your body actually needs. And that's exactly what I help people do in my root cause health audit. We look at your symptoms, your habits, your patterns, and start connecting the dots so you can have a clear direction forward. I'll link that below if you want to learn more.